Let some more people in.
Should I get to the microphone?
Well, I am going to, yeah, you go ahead and read the mission statement and I'll read your bio. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Okay, there we
Are
go.
ready?
Mhm. It's on.
It is on? Okay. All right. Helping Parents Heal is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting parents whose children have passed. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. Helping Parents Heal goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non-dogmatic way. Helping Parents Heal affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background, and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at this meeting is voluntary. We hope that participants will learn from and share with each other. Discussions here are confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Zoom meetings run by leadership are not confidential. These meetings typically feature guest presenters and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of HPH meeting is designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling.
Perfect. So now, beautiful. And now what we can do is first ask, by a show of hands, were you able to hear Sue? Because the microphone is not on, actually. Was it possible to hear her? You're okay?
What about now?
She's going to actually be doing the guided meditation sitting here right in front of you. So it'll be even easier to hear her, and we'll turn the lights down. So I'm going to introduce her right now.
I think there's no sound.
Yeah, I checked it earlier, but obviously I didn't do the right thing. But it was really, really loud earlier, so this is actually nice. But I see that there's still people coming into the waiting
Do you want
room.
me to admit?
Maybe if you could just
Yeah.
be beside here and just admit people, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
And so, okay, and I'll stand out here so people can see me. Reverend Sue Frederick. Reverend Sue Frederick is an intuitive coach, ordained unity minister, soul regression therapist, master numerologist, sacred channel, and clairaudient, combining a unique gift of powerful intuition, channeled wisdom from departed loved ones, and practical career know-how. Sue has been a guest on more than 200 radio shows and numerous TV shows, including Bridging Heaven and Earth. Sue's recent books, Through a Divine Lens, I See Your Soulmate, and Bridges to Heaven, True Stories of Loved Ones on the Other Side, became instant Amazon bestsellers. Her newest books, Through a Divine Lens, practices to quiet your ego and align with your soul, as well as Sacred Numerology. So this is a Sacred Numerology workbook, which is very reasonable and it's so much fun to work with, are now available on Amazon. You can learn more about her by going to our website, www.suefrederick.com. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to this beautiful person who's letting everybody into the waiting room right now,
Elizabeth,
Reverend Sue Frederick.
we have to always chop that bio. Every time you read it, I go, oh, we've got to edit that bio. Anyway, I am so grateful to be here. I hope you can hear me. Please nod your head. Thank you. Okay. So it is my honor to be a part of Helping Parents Heal. And all of you know that one of the things I always talk about with connecting to our spirits, our beloveds in spirit, is how we walk in two worlds here, the physical world of the human mind and the human self that always has doubt, cynicism, fear, anxiety as part of it, and then our soul's view, our higher self. And we can use whatever words that we want to use to define those two different views. But here on earth, it's like we have to have a foot in both sides of this. We can't just be connected to the spirit world, or we won't be able to function here. But if we're only down in the physical world, we lose our ability to understand that this physical world is our dream, our illusion, and we get caught up in the minute details of it. And then when we have a beloved, like all of you, having a child cross, that is the great spiritual awakening. Our beloveds who cross are our teachers. So your beautiful children are our spiritual teachers. They have agreed to break us wide open, break our hearts open, so that we will lift up and ask those bigger questions. Who am I? Where did my beloved go? Why am I still here? If there's a God, how could this have happened? Those are the really good questions, because they get you seeking the answers that resonate with your soul, not just the answers that somebody else might tell you to believe in. So it's the great, some of my mom friends call it the great shattering, the shattering of what we once believed, so that now we can experience what resonates as true in our heart. So I'm honored to know and love all of you, and I've done sessions with so many of the parents here, and you all are very beautiful, accelerated souls who agreed to be light carriers for others here on earth. And that's part of what we're doing today, is helping you lift up above this world, above this view, and connect to your beloved in spirit, and to your guides, and to the God source, whatever words work for you. So whenever I'm about to do this with a client, the first thing I say is, you know, when I take you on this journey, your human mind is still going to be saying things like, wait, I'm just making this up. This isn't real. And rather than fight that or argue with that human mind, because it'll always be part of you, I just like to say, bring a playful energy to it. You know, tell your mind, oh, you're right, honey, go sit over there and have a cookie. I'm just going to go on this imaginary journey here with Sue, and I'm going to see if my beloved steps forward. Because when you bring that higher frequency energy to it, not the heavy doubt and cynicism, then we're open to the experience. And what you find at the end of it then is that, wow, I did have an experience. I did actually, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to admit people.
No, it's not that, it's that I forgot to, oh no, the recording's going.
Okay.
Perfect, sorry.
So I think I was, so you just let your mind go through that cynicism with you, but then meanwhile you say, well, I'm just going to go anyway and trust what I get. And that kind of playfulness really is amazing, because I've had a client start the whole first part of a session going, I don't believe in this, and I'm so upset that my child is gone. And I'll go, okay, now let's just pretend that we're going to heaven to talk to them. And they will have a profound experience of connecting to their child. And at the end, they're just broken open and going, wow, that was so real in my heart. And that's the truth, is what happens in our heart. So on that night, okay, I don't know what's happening with all of this technology here, but Elizabeth and I are trying to manage all of this. Is that okay?
Did it just do that from the computer?
I don't
That's
know.
really strange. Okay, no worries. Let's just
All right,
get
we're
ready.
good.
It's recording.
All right, everybody. Okay, so everybody, if you're sitting, just try to, if you be comfortable is very important, but try to make sure that your head is not leaning back on anything. Even if you're in your bed, try to prop yourself up so that your head is not leaning back. I mean, there are some teachers who say, you know, lay down and you can fall asleep and you're still in the meditation. But I've learned that you want to be able to be awake, because when you fall asleep, you may still be traveling to heaven, but you're not going to remember it as much. Whereas if you're awake, if your head nods forward, you wake yourself up. That's an old technique I learned in an ashram in the 80s. And I had friends who would actually snore their way through meditation sitting straight up. So if that's your talent, that may happen. So let's take our 3 deep breaths. Inhale. And again. And again. And now we feel and experience and see a purple globe of healing light above the head, above your crown chakra. This beautiful light represents complete healing of your body, mind, and soul, complete realignment of your consciousness with your higher self, the part of you that is always in heaven, always in the higher realms, that doesn't squeeze down into the earth realm for this lifetime. And that is also the part of you that is with your beloved departeds all the time. So as this purple light begins to pour down through the top of your head, let it quiet your thoughts, let it calm your mind. Let it relieve any fear or cynicism. This is your true nature as a divine being, to walk into the higher realms with your awareness and consciousness intact. And the purple light allows all the human parts of you to calm and quiet. And so you feel your forehead softening, your eyes relaxing, your mouth easing up, the jaw relaxes, your throat relaxes, the shoulders drop. The burden you have carried in this earth realm, being a parent, walking through grief, let all of that earth story wash off of your shoulders. Let it go. And the purple light opens your chest area so that your heart chakra is wide open, leading you forward. The heart is your center of God consciousness. When you feel God, when you recognize spirit, it is through the heart chakra that you know it is real. And in this moment, your heart chakra is wide open and purely connected to the God source and to your beloveds in spirit. Feel that flow of unconditional love. Inhale it and exhale. Again. That unconditional love is what the God source is all about. You have never been disconnected from that love. You are always part of it. Allow that purple light to move down, relaxing the rib cage that works so hard to protect your heart, and then moving down to the internal organs, healing, restoring, replenishing all with your spirit of pure health and pure unconditional love. Breathe it in. And now the purple light continues down, easing the hips, the lower organs, the upper legs, the knees, lower legs. And in this moment, let go of your human story, your human pain, and the human burden of this lifetime. Let it wash out through the bottoms of your feet. Take a breath. And now you feel light. You feel aware that you are a golden being of light and always have been. That it's only your human mind that has made you doubt that, or to make you only see the physical world. And with that released and relaxed, you can once again claim with your eyes closed that you are a powerful being of light. And that light emanates from every pore of your being. Your light is more powerful than any pain, any darkness, any fear. And now with that memory restored, that you are a perfect being of light, we lift easily up out of the top of the head, rising above the earth world, the earth story, the human life you've had to carry. And we lift up feeling held by the angels, held by the God source, free, joyful, happy, letting go of the human cynicism, letting go of human fear, letting go of human grief. We rise up with joy. And now we move up the 10 stairs of golden light that take all of us to the heavenly realms, moving up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we lift up now with ease, and we move through that tunnel of light that all souls move through on their way to the higher realms, because the tunnel of light washes away any earth trauma that we might still be holding on to. So feel the cleansing energy of this tunnel and look at the light waiting for you. That's where your beautiful child looks so happy and healthy and gloriously beautiful, waiting for you. Any suffering memories you may have of that child are gone, because this is their soul, their beautiful, perfect soul, showing you how happy and good they are in these higher realms. So we move towards them through the tunnel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let them take you with their arms, bringing you into the circle of stone benches, which is where souls go when they're processing their life. And when we first cross over, we go to these benches where the angels and the God source help us understand that we are part of the light, that we are part of God, that we have done nothing wrong, that we are beautiful souls who had a brief, temporary journey on earth, but now we are restored to our soul's higher self. And look around this circle. You may see other departed loved ones here, looking happy and healthy and loving. And you may see your guides, your council of elders, the God source, whoever your people are, or your belief system is. These beings meet you here with love, with acceptance, with non-judgment. And now you feel your beautiful child sitting with you in this circle, but you notice that they're laughing and they feel completely at home. They are completely restored to their best and highest self here. So turn to your child right now, and in your inner voice, just say, I love you so much, and kiss their hair, their being, feel their skin. You can smell their human self. They allow you to recognize them that way. Just be with them. Hear their voice. Hear that laughter. And now look into their face soul to soul, and see the joy. See how they're trying to comfort you. They're telling you everything is okay. Everything is okay. And you can ask them now in your inner self any question that comes to your heart. For example, you could ask, why did you have to leave? Or why did you have to leave in the way you left? And then let's be quiet and listen to their answer. And perhaps you heard them say, I left because we agreed to this. So now ask them, why? Why did we agree to this? What higher purpose does this pain serve? And now listen to the answer. And the answer only comes from love and light and higher wisdom. And you may be hearing your child say, because nothing is as it seems on earth, Mom or Dad. This is the reality here in the higher realms that you can't really see when you're in the earth realm. I want you to trust now that you are in the true heavenly realms that we come from and that we return to. And that from these realms, we understand that human life is brief, even though it seems so long when you're there. From here, we know its only purpose is growth, soul evolution, and helping others. Let your beloved whisper that wisdom into your ear, comfort you with it. You are in pain, but they are not. Feel that. Know that. Now ask them, what should I be doing now with my life moving forward? Because your son or your daughter, they are evolved souls in heaven. They aren't children, and they can give you wisdom and guidance. Ask them, what am I meant to do here? And listen to their answer. And now ask them, how can I better hear you, feel you, experience you when I'm in my everyday life? What should I do to be able to know you are alive and well in the other realms? And listen to what they tell you now. You may be hearing them say to you, it's your choice, Mom or Dad. You get to choose whether you'll believe this is real or not. But you have to make the choice in your heart and not doubt it. And then the pathway is easy to hear me, to be with me, to see me. Ask your child, what sign should I be asking for? Something that I could experience today, later on, that I would know is from you. And let your child show you or tell you what sign that will be. And now your primary spirit guide or your God source steps into the circle now and says, what questions do you have for me? And many parents ask, what is the purpose of suffering on earth? Why would a child have to leave early? And the God source will answer from the love, from the higher wisdom of the divine. Listen and receive. And you may hear the God source tell you it's perfectly natural to be angry, to be heartbroken, to be sad. That's part of the human realm of emotions. But the God source will also tell you that you are a beautiful being of light and love, that that is your true nature. Never forget it. Never forget that. And most importantly, the God source will tell you that you have never done anything wrong. You are perfect. Now ask the God source, what is yours to do with your life on earth moving forward? And listen. And now we thank God, we thank all the higher beings, we thank our beloved children for giving us so much grace and wisdom and for helping us experience them. And right now, your beloved child is handing you a gift. Receive that gift and tell them you will open it and look at it later today, and you'll know what gift they are sending you. And so now we thank them because we know these realms are so real. We have felt it, seen it, heard it today. And with gratitude, we tell them, now we know we are not alone. We will listen, we will receive, we will believe moving forward. And now we turn and move back through that tunnel of light towards the earth realms. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down the 10 stairs of light back into your perfect earth body. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe fully back into your earth self. Take a breath. And again. And again. And as you come back in, ask yourself to remember that experience fully and completely and without doubt. And ask yourself, what was the most significant part of that experience for me today? And remember what your answer is. And so it is. Thank you so much for going on this journey with us today. Thank you.
It's beautiful.
And I have a feeling that we will probably have some questions from the audience, so thank you, Margaret. So if you guys would like to ask any questions of Sue about...
So I don't know if you can hear Elizabeth, but if you have any questions, please ask us now. And
In the chat box, if
in
you
the chat
can.
box.
And then we'll try to answer the questions as well. Guys, have any questions?
So what was the significant part of that for you all? Did you feel your child? Did you hear their laughter? Did you feel their presence in any way? Did you come away with a sense of love? So that's what we hold on to, because the more we hold on to that sense of love, the more we connect. Because love is the highest frequency emotion, and that's our pathway to the divine. And you can do that meditation in your own tonight, and usually it's easier when you're alone and you're not sitting in a room full of people. And when you go there tonight, you might actually be able to really hear your child or really experience that in a more vivid way. Any questions?
If there are no questions, what we're going to do now that we've become closer to our kids is to share our kids. And I'd like to do it all in one big circle today because we have fewer people, which would be really nice.
What does that say?
Let's see. Yes, yes, yes. So Heidi was connected with her son.
Yes, Heidi connected.
Let's see. It was amazing. Thank you. I saw my beautiful son and mother. I just love them so much. I also felt God's presence, so much love and peace. I felt him and heard his laughter.
Oh,
He was wearing a white suit
suit.
and looked so happy.
Oh, these chats are so
He
beautiful.
answered my question.
Oh, you guys, I love that.
So we're going to have to sign off for the chat because we're going to go into a sharing group with everyone here. But thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And let's see, Amber
Amber.
is saying,
Beautiful Amber.
what does Amber say?
She says, Jagger had a party horn for my birthday and gave me a pinwheel as her gift.
So it's Amber's birthday today.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Amber.
Happy birthday, Amber.
And then I cannot get there. I feel so sad. I cannot.
Can't forget the trauma. Let's talk about that. Iona is saying she can't forget the trauma of her child's crossing, and that gets in the way. That's a very common human experience, and that's what we talk about, the two views. The human view that really gets stuck in the pain, and especially the final days or so. But the soul knows your child was out of that body long before those trauma things were happening. In fact, I've experienced this with so many beloveds that their body is going through suffering here, but the soul knows it's the exit point, and the soul has already lifted up above it and is seeing it from a very different perspective. This is even true of older people crossing over. My father was in his 60s when he crossed, and he was in the hospital, and I was in my house, and I had sat down to meditate, and my father appeared vividly in front of me, happy and healthy, and he had been dying from cancer for months, but he had no trauma, no physical pain, and he was going, hey, and he was making me laugh. And I picked up the phone and called the hospital, and they said, your father just crossed. And he had instantly come to show me that he wasn't in those painful moments. So it is our job over time to go to that other view of them and to spend more time seeing their happiness, their perfection, their higher self free of that suffering. But that is very understandable.
So
That, go ahead.
Heidi after that is saying, Finn's birthday was yesterday. He gave me inner vision. It was like a bright crystal in my pineal gland, I guess. And so then Diane is saying, I didn't see Allie, but I did feel her. Thank you.
Oh,
And
those are great
Polly
chats.
is saying, that's so true. I know my son was gone for about 3 days before he passed.
That's right.
So this is relating to what you were saying. And then Donna is saying, I opened myself to it and I can picture his face, but nothing is happening. I pray for dreams and they don't come.
So what I would say about that is the more relaxed and playful and easy we are about it, the easier it is. So for example, rather than saying, gosh, I never get a dream, you can just affirm, well, my child comes to me when I am open and happy and relaxed. So tonight, I'm sure that I will get a dream vision, and all I have to do is remember it or not, but I am going to be with my child tonight. And just let that playful energy of, I know they're here, I don't need to question it. And that will help you experience it more. And don't forget, we talked about you're always going to have your human self here, but you also always have your soul's view here. And that's our challenge and our gift. We have to choose to step more into our soul's view to connect to our beautiful departeds. Thank you.
You may ask the question.
Yes.
What's the most significant
Yes.
part? And I meditate a lot, but I'd never done the piece where you allow the light to wash away the human story.
Yes.
Maybe I feel like maybe to some extent I kind of take my human story with
Right.
me and relate to him on this human level as
Right.
opposed to just really, because a lot of times there's a lot of trauma leading up to the crossing.
Right, right,
And that's the hardest part to let go of.
right, right.
And when you were saying that, I really felt myself
Yeah,
like letting that wash away.
that's so
So that
good.
I could meet him soul to
Because
soul.
they're not in that trauma. It's only us as humans that get stuck in there. But your soul is already dancing with him. Your soul is already seeing him as perfect and playing with him. And once we can develop that and lean more into trusting that that's real, because when we get to the higher realms, even after the lifetime is over for ourselves, our own exit point, we're not carrying that story. Because once we get to those higher realms, our higher self is going, wow, what a lifetime that was. Let's review and see how we did. But it's from that higher wisdom. It's not from, gee, that was horrible down there. I hated every minute of it. That's the human self, and we let that go. But the soul was like, wow, lots of lessons in that. Let me see how much I loved. Let me see if I was scared too much. Let me see if I helped others. Let me see if I kept learning and seeking the light. That's how the soul reviews it all. And we have to trust that.
Beautiful.
All right.
So what I think we're going to do now is to go ahead. Oh, it looks like some other people are wanting to
There's
come
one
in.
more question here.
Oh, okay.
It's from Allison. Tomorrow is Jen's continuation day, and it feels much more fluid this third year than previous 2 years.
Right.
She's telling me to shine the light inside and love myself and heal as much as I loved her. She says it is my time and that she played her part. It was time.
Beautiful. That's really beautiful.
That is beautiful. Thank you, Allison. So thank you all for being on here, and we'll see you on Tuesday or Monday if you're on some of the meetings on Monday as well. Well, we have a bunch of meetings planned for Monday. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Thank you all for coming. I'm going